Hamilton and Ferrari, the myth embracing the legend. A connection that brings with it feverish anticipation for the fans. Supporters who, this week, more specifically on Wednesday, were present in the thousands at the Fiorano circuit when the seven-time F1 world champion took to the Italian team's track for the very first time behind the wheel of an Italian car, an event which was awaited worldwide, an episode that showcased the immense significance of this collaboration. And no offense to the other teams, but seeing the seven-time Formula One world champion gripping the wheel of a red car was a cathartic moment. All other discussions are pointless, as, regardless of the British media's attempts to downplay it, this was undoubtedly one of the most talked about and followed sporting events of the year. From here will come a flurry of conjectures about the hypothetical performance of the former Mercedes driver. Some see him as the savior of the homeland, while others call him washed up, a marketing operation designed to grease the gears. In this regard, everyone is entitled to their opinion. Only the track, the ultimate judge, will bring clarity to these wild speculations. One who does not usually speak a lot about Ferrari is CEO Benedetto Vigna. When he has in the past, his statements, as someone outside the sporting world, made an impression. However, this communicative approach has been curtailed by the team at the clear request of Vasseur, who urged the cautious John Elkann to clarify matters with the chief executive officer. Benedetto Vigna is expected to discuss accounts, quarters, and brand-related business. For other matters, many individuals are tasked with commenting on racing issues. It was the right decision, and the 55-year-old from Pisa has shown a more attentive attitude, fitting for his role. Nevertheless, on this occasion, there was an opportunity to comment on Lewis Hamilton. A reasonable exception, given the significance of the event. In this case, he did not offer a personal opinion, but instead conveyed the atmosphere within the team as the Englishman's debut approached, confirming his presence at Fiorano for this first test to familiarize himself with the controls, the team, and their working methods. The Italian physicist and businessman confirmed the excitement and the immense eagerness to embark on this great adventure, noting that Ferrari is almost ready and that expectations are quite high. Benedetto Vigna's statement on the matter was concise, straightforward, free of excessive elaboration or hypothetical claims that could easily be misinterpreted by the media and fans. That's how it should be. Nothing more needed to be said. Beyond him, there are also others who assert their right to comment decisively on the future, and there's nothing wrong with that either. After all, opinions are part of life, always and forever. If they resonate with the listener, they can even be appreciated. Otherwise, they are set aside, a useful mechanism to avoid emotional involvement. Lewis Hamilton's extensive technical knowledge, combined with his 2 decades of Formula One experience, will allow the 7-time world champion to navigate the Ferrari environment with ease. This is a scenario laden with pressure, as we well know, where many drivers in the past have lost their way, crushed by its immense weight. However, in our view, this won't be the case for Lewis Hamilton. This is considering his remarkable mental strength in managing situations, which he has repeatedly demonstrated. Recently, a former teammate of his, who even managed to beat him with the same car in 2016, spoke about it. Nico Rosberg knows Lewis Hamilton well. Friends since they were kids, the two have shared much of their lives in the racing world. The German driver, without mincing words, spoke about Lewis Hamilton's manipulative ability in dealing with the media. He referred to the fact that the Stevenage champion is very skilled at bringing the narrative to his side. Put that way, it might sound negative. However, we think he wanted to highlight Lewis Hamilton's talent for managing comments about events so they don't negatively affect his conduct. According to the German, the British driver will challenge himself at Ferrari. It is all a matter of mindset, which will allow him to bounce back after some tough seasons at Mercedes, marked by a lack of motivation. It will require significant dedication to adapt to a new world, the Italian one, not very familiar to him on a professional level. This monumental change must be driven by a deep desire for self-improvement. If Lewis chose Ferrari at the age of 40 with a trophy cabinet already full, it's precisely because he wanted, for one last time in his career, to put himself to the test, both as a driver and as a person. That's why motivation and commitment will undoubtedly not be lacking. Another former world champion, the son of the unforgettable Gilles Villeneuve, shares the same view more or less. However, Jacques also speaks of the dark side, that factor that could surface, against which it's impossible to rebel. The realization that your time has passed and that the reasons to push yourself to the limit are no longer there. This is something that happens to all F1 drivers, eventually leading them to retirement. For now, Lewis Hamilton is still far from all of that. Ferrari knew it and offered him a contract. Lewis's body still craves adrenaline, that burning desire to race, compete, and why not, win. Nothing more. On the other hand, there are those like Nico Rosberg, who, after achieving their goal, preferred to step aside and not defend the title. Or like Jacques Villeneuve, who, tempted by money, chose to leave the prestige of Williams to sink with British-American racing. Easy choices, quite the opposite of Lewis Hamilton's decision to challenge history with a clear goal, to win with Ferrari after the historic Maranello team's 16-year drought. Emotions aside, Lewis Hamilton immediately discovered what it means to be part of Ferrari. But during the 30 laps on a chilly Fiorano, not only did profound human feelings emerge, but also the essence of a champion. Lewis emphasized that driving a Scuderia Ferrari car for the first time has been one of the most beautiful feelings of his life. When he started the car and drove out of the garage, he had a big smile on his face. Before making these statements, the 7-time world champion carried out a debrief with the technicians to analyze the work done. The car used was the SF23, which is certainly not highly representative of Ferrari's current potential, considering that in 2023, it won only one GP with Carlos Sainz in the Singapore Grand Prix, but it's the most recent car allowed for testing previous cars' programs, as FIA regulations require cars at least 2 years old. Lewis Hamilton, ever the perfectionist, after verifying the functionalities of the steering wheel computer in the simulator, sought the best adaptation to the cockpit, his workplace. It was thought he might want to keep the controls he had memorized at Mercedes, but he quickly adapted to Ferrari's wheel with few changes. No issues with the seat, just some difficulty with the pedals. He tried several adjustments without finding the most comfortable solution, so it will need to be adapted in time for the Barcelona test, his second outing after Fiorano, where the team is expected to find much better weather conditions than on Wednesday. Even the first interaction with his new race engineer Riccardo Adami seemed positive, but that is a relationship that will need to develop over time. The SF23 was configured for a light run with very soft setup and engine map choices. It's not surprising, therefore, that there were lockups at the first corner and the hairpin when Lewis Hamilton tried to push a little harder, just to draw some conclusions from the work done. A couple of times he reached the edge of the asphalt strip before the gravel but always managed to maintain control of the car, even with virtually no grip. Lewis Hamilton reportedly found the Ferrari SF23 single-seater very drivable and easy to handle, less aggressive than the black and silver Aero of recent years. Lewis Hamilton completed 30 laps, while Charles Leclerc managed just 14 in the afternoon. It was fitting to join the ride in front of 2,000 Ferrari fans who filled every space overlooking the Maranello team's home track, as FIA rules limit the distance each driver can cover to 1,000 kilometers over a maximum of 4 days.